Here's an exercise I use to improve people's snatch positions fast. Watch to the end to get the full stimulus and get the key cues to get the most out of this exercise for you and your clients. One of the great things about the snatch and the overhead squat is that they're so compound, they test everything, but that also unfortunately makes them a challenge to assess and correct. This is a go-to exercise for people who are looking to integrate many movement qualities that underpin good overhead squat and snatch mechanics. Let's look at some key cues. So first one is we want to try and keep the feet flat. We want to keep the hips low and we want to go slow. So notice how my hips do not rise as I go through this exercise. We want to keep them relatively even as far as possible and not change the height as well. So we're not coming up at either end, we're not coming up in the middle with our pelvis. We want to reach up with the hands and we want to use a plate that's heavy enough to challenge us to stay upright, but not so heavy that the shoulders burning is the main stimulus. We want to use it as an alignment and center of balance tool rather than a strength and load stimulus. So use it as far as helps you, but there will be a sweet spot where too heavy means your shoulders just burn out, too light, you can be pitched forwards and have the weight too far in front of you. Use your eyes to look forwards or slightly up. That will also help maintain a better stack between the head, the shoulders and the pelvis. In a perfect world, we're able to have all three stacked on top of each other. Not many people can do that straight away, but this is one of the tools we use to help work towards it. Tweaks we could make. First thing, we could change the loading tool. So if somebody is hypermobile and we want to tighten them up, then actually we can use dumbbells or even kettlebells as the super advanced version. This is for those people who have amazing range of motion but struggle with tension in these positions. The tweak the other way would be to use a barbell. I'd suggest a light training bar to start. We can get more specific by using a snatch grip and make things carry over slightly more, but you will need to go light to maintain the other key cues we spoke about earlier. If the overhead position is the limiter or is a massive limiter and we want to work on the lower body, we can use a goblet loaded position, so kettlebell or dumbbells in front. You can even hug a D-ball or a med ball. This will help focus on the hips, get them in a better position, which will in turn give you a better chance of getting a nice overhead position. So we can break it down into lower and upper body focus, even within this one exercise. If somebody is really struggling, we can give them some heel elevation as well to get the hips into the right position and help with that management of the center of balance. But obviously over time, having the option to do it without heel lifts gives somebody more movement options than having to use them. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with that when you're starting out. I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the exercise library for 600 plus other silly lunge exercises which will improve the way you move.